Hey, folks, we're here for the Supersonic anniversary picture. I'm your host, Sonic the Hedgehog, broadcasting to you live on production, the SCWRM comms commentary of my own feature-length movie, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Is that the one with the Nostalgia Critic cameo?
No.
Is that the one? Is that the one with Metal Sonic?
No. And before you ask
is that the one that Ken Penders tried to send to Sega?
Hey, fun fact, Edge, we kind of covered this already, but we may have Sonic X to thank for that movie never getting off the ground. But without further ado, this is a good live-action Sonic movie. Not only that, a good live-action video game movie of all things. Okay,
It came out a month before the pandemic started.
It was a lot of people's last movie in cinemas before lockdown.
So I hear Academia last.
Mine was Onward.
I saw Promare back at that time.
This was my last movie, in theaters. But, anyway, as you know from our previous Roundtables video, this movie has quite a long history behind it. All you need to know is this: it was in development hell for years upon end. Then when we finally got a look at it, we hated the look of you-know-what, and, well, metaphorically burned it with fire. Yeah, but then later the Sonic movie found Jesus, got into rehab, and boom, bada bing, it came out looking much better. Not only that, but the story was actually good. The humor was actually good. Hell, not like, because this movie was actually good, but similar to Aladdin, a lot of the thing that people thought wouldn't work, Jim Carrey, ended up being one of the best things about it. It's arguably his comeback film.
I thought everyone agreed that Jim Carrey was the best looking thing so far.
No. Basically, Des, before we saw the trailer, a lot of people thought Jim Carrey as Robotnik was a bad idea. But
remember when I predicted that years ago? I was like, they should get Jim Carrey as Eggman.
I actually don't remember.
It's on SSMB.
My idea was always is that that's a perfect casting choice when I first heard it. It's just that the first trailer didn't do a good job in showing how good he is.
That's the tradition with Hollywood.
But here's what is amazing about the film. The studio execs actually listened to the feedback. I mean, granted, it would be impossible not to have heard it. Like, that thing was everyone's punching bag. You know what I love, honestly? This thing was compared negatively to the likes of the Lion King 2019 remake and the Scoob movie.
To point out our hatred for this original you-know-what. It united this community for once.
It did. But here's the irony, though. See, whereas other stuff started off positive but ended up being negative, this one, well, it definitely started off negative, but ended up being positive in the end. People legit liked it.
Now, one thing I want to say about that real quick is that regular people holding a sway over artists making a movie isn't something I want to happen regularly, if you know what I mean.
Well, Dwips, remember that to piggyback off what Jova said about the execs, this wouldn't have happened if the execs actually listened to the people who were working on the movie. Because some of the people working on the movie were, trying to persuade them to not go with this design.
I literally said, "No, this is stupid." But they were waiting on normies to be like, "Yeah, they'll like it."
At the same time, though, there's listening to complaints and rectifying them, and then there's just letting them run the whole asylum.
But again, the people working on the movie didn't want it either.
Yeah. There's a bigger argument to be made about various degrees of fan entitlement, but we're not here for that.
I just don't want it to impact the whole industry, if you know what I mean.
I'm curious.
Nobody wants that.
Was Jeff Fowler one of the guys who went with the original design, or did he say no?
Okay,
Well,
okay.
I mean, considering he's a first-time director, so I'm guessing he didn't have as much sway as, say, Paramount.
He did have some sway, but he didn't have the final call. The long story short is that, well, this movie went from being the thing that everyone was afraid of and hoping would die in a fiery car crash to being good enough that people considered it better than certain other projects, which I'll mention later. But also, people are looking forward to the sequel, which, as of the time of this recording, is in production.
Also, everybody went to see this movie over Birds of Prey, which makes me happy.
I saw this one after Birds of Prey.
I distinctly remember there was something else also.
Traitor.
It was competing
Also,
with.
well,
You assholes made me see Birds of Prey, and I hate all of you.
actually,
That was
did
specifically
you...
talking the cinema release window. That's what I'm saying. I think there was a third competitor, but I can't remember which one was. Whatever.
Bad Boys for Life. But yeah, let's get started with the movie. Start before
The Paramount
special
logo.
Paramount logo. Jova, do the countdown, please.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, click.
Imagine we actually live in a world where people are able to genuinely anticipate something Sonic related.
Well, I mean,
Did we forget Mania?
yeah, I mean,
That was a few years ago.
hey,
It still happens, and Generations as well.
you
I
know,
mean, like a sequel to a movie, that kind of thing.
Also, for the record, audience, I still actually haven't seen the movie for myself, so this is actually the first time.
So, yeah.
Sorry, guys. It turns out this whole
Also,
movie
hi,
was just someone's LP.
Valkyria Chronicles.
hi,
Yes,
Knights.
this is a
Also,
this is-
somebody amigo.
So yeah, this is basically apparently Sega's movie logo, apparently.
You know
Also,
what?
You like the MCU? Because I
Yeah,
do.
Wait,
totally stole from.
wait a minute. Original film. It's an adaptation, though. It's not an original film.
So, let us start the film in World, San Francisco.
And we'll start with any medias res.
This is
Joker's
one that I'm
favorite.
actually okay with.
I'm not. I'm just tired of a medias res.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I am too, but this is one of the examples where I'm fine with it, because at the very least, it doesn't spoil the outcome of the final battle to an extent. And yes, Sonic here
Also,
is voiced by Dewey from DuckTales.
Also, did Sonic just
Leonardo from Rise of the TMNT.
also did Sonic compare Eggman to a Confederate?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
so we just
What
watched the
of
whole
it?
movie in reverse.
It feels odd. Like,
So, hey, speaking of Sonic Mania, here's some music from it. So yeah, believe it or not, they even managed to make Baby Sonic look cute. And again, guys, want to imagine what Baby Sonic looked like with the original Sonic design?
I still want this thing gone. I don't want them to populate and take over my kart racers.
Hey, Longclaw.
who she's voiced by?
The owl.
Yes.
Let me
Also,
see.
the Echidna tribe.
Yes, the Echidna tribe.
And somewhere Ken Penders rages and doesn't know why.
These
Yeah,
are...
I'm surprised Ken
so, yeah,
Bendis isn't trying to
Tyson
sue
ha-
Paramount.
Tyson Hess did go on record saying that one of them is Pachu Machu from SA1, and that was deliberate.
Anyway, the
Cool.
Long Claw is voiced by Donna J. Fox, aka someone involved in Card Sharks.
Okay.
Interesting. Anyway, originally the echidnas were going to be generic lizard people, so consider them being echidnas one of the massive improvements brought to us by, dear good lord, thank God for him, Tyson Hess.
Yeah, basically what happened was after the initial Sonic design wasn't met warmly, to put it lightly, they hired Tyson Hess to redo Sonic.
Okay, now one thing I will point out. Originally, Longclaw did come with Sonic, and she survived. That, I will say this ahead of time though, I'm kind of glad they didn't go with that. Basically getting a bit ahead of myself, with this version, she now has a chance of surviving and being in the sequel, because in the original, it would have just been confirmed that she died eventually, and that's why Sonic's on his own.
And that prompts the title, I guess.
Yep.
In
So
case you're
here we
wondering, the
are in
music-
Green Hills.
Ah.
The music was done by Tom Holkenborg, aka Junkie XL.
Oh, hey,
Speaking of Toms,
Cyclops. Hey, Tia, what's your favorite X-Men?
does he
James
have a
Marsden.
broomstick up his ass even here?
Depends.
Yeah, Cyclops is fine. He's just terrible in the movies, just like most of the X-Men.
I will say this. I was not expecting to like Tom as much as I ended up liking.
Oh.
I mean, and look, I'm a guy who generally is more so lenient on Sonic stuff. I was not expecting to like Tom that much. He screamed you-know-who to me. Just, not as annoying. What?
296.
Okay, so here's the difference between Tom and Chris. Chris is a kid. Tom's a full-grown adult.
Well, okay. Obviously. Well, that's why I say Chris, but not as annoying. That's what I was expecting him to be. But no,
So
he ended up being much better. I'll say this. As a character, he complements Sonic well, and I actually was genuinely invested in his arc a bit. I mean, it's nothing Shakespearean
I
or
have a major
anything.
problem with his character arc that I will explain once the movie is done.
Oh yeah, that too. But honestly, I feel like his character is overall fine.
What is that?
So is it me, or does that bit of his fur have the same color as his original design?
Honestly, it looks the same shade of blue
that?
from whatever.
Also, is the turtle
Oh.
about to be squashed?
Hold on, too.
Oh, okay.
Nope, Sonic saved him.
Like, will you actually do it?
And there
Got it.
he is. And okay, I'll admit, 10-year-old me would feel so validated with how many Sonic designs now have him with blue arms. Because
Alright, the whole arms color is apparently a fire starter.
not anymore, thank goodness, but you would be surprised how much it was back in the day. Oops!
Oh.
Okay, we're fine.
The
We're
poor
fine.
turtle is probably having a heart attack.
Yeah, okay, I'll put it like this. This movie's humor is actually pretty good, too. Like, holy cow.
That poor turtle.
Oh.
And welcome to the Easter Egg Cave, because if you pause a lot, you'll notice a lot of Easter eggs here and there. Angst? What angst? Huh.
Also, Flash,
Yeah, Flash is his favorite superhero.
obviously.
Of course.
Yeah, wonder
It's
why.
also a neat Easter egg considering the Silver Age Flash became like that because he read the comics about the Golden Age Flash.
Oh,
probably-
look,
The
Hilltop.
Flash is probably the only this is like the only time where someone could consider the Flash a relatable character.
Safe worlds.
Speed.
Being super speed.
Huh,
Yeah.
a safe world filled with only mushrooms.
So yeah, basically, the rings in this continuity can grow big and teleport you anywhere.
Get
So-
it? Because
so-
Mario
Actually,
uses
it's a
mushrooms.
reference to the special stages with
Not
the
just-
super warp
just-
rooms. And they also had it in the comics as well.
Not just
Good
that,
there.
like if you can go all the way back to Sonic 3 for that anyway.
Even if the warp ring effects looks like Doctor Strange's portals.
Oh, good thing I did bring donuts to this.
The Donut Lord. Ha! Donald, Daisy, and Daffy.
That's not how it works, Sonic.
Oh,
there's-
God.
I mean, they were gonna throw it.
Was
in
that
there
was that the
somewhere.
Sonic?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Sonic.
Ben,
Also-
this is crazy Carl too. He wants to catch Sonic. But
I
he can't.
swear we did mention somewhere else, but we recognized that the actor
Oh, wait,
who plays
this bit?
him. I'll check
It's an
it out.
Air Bud.
Okay.
So, wait, here's something funny in retrospect. We got
Oh, it's
Dennis
Speed.
Hopper.
Oh my
We got
god!
Dennis Hopper in both a Mario and Sonic movie.
Yes.
I get the feeling this is the better movie of the two.
Yeah,
Aiming
that's
for
interesting.
low-hanging-
This
Hold
movie
on,
is
hold on.
like one of the few things that people can claim and not laugh at. Sonic does better than Mario.
It's not hard to do.
Yeah.
But, oh.
Huh. Yeah. Turns out under that
Sonic
snarky exterior, Sonic may be a bit lonely.
But Sonic, everyone says you don't need friends.
Hey,
Also, that
Ozzy.
was the best use of Sonic I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was drawn by a crazy person. So. It's your eviction notice. Yeah, I've won.
By the way, you may remember this woman, Tika Sumpter, from our Salt commentary.
Oh.
She was the front desk woman in that.
The Angelina Jolie movie?
Yes.
Yes.
A movie that is the movie definition of trying way too hard, basically.
It was basically them trying to do, from what I understand, a female Jason Bourne.
Yep.
I'm at 12:05 too.
Well, thanks for the exposition.
It is
Oh, sorry,
exposition that actually
we need
works.
another. Sorry. I mean, guys, it's actually no one or a bunch of animals.
Yep.
There we go.
I guess Sonic's not the only one that's got a
Yep.
little screw loose.
Yeah, so James Marsden is he's got to join the police force and yet he's insane.
Ah,
So he's perfect.
Sonic also likes baseball.
yeah, I guess that fits.
Well, actually, sure. One of the earlier illustration artworks that Oshima made back in the day that you can see in the Museum in Gems collection actually just show him playing baseball.
Yeah. I mean, believe it or not, this movie is chock full of references to old and new Sonic lore and bits.
I am curious as to how many of it was intentional or just coincidence.
I'm willing to bet most of it was intentional. Some of it may have been coincidental, but most of it you can definitely tell was intentional, especially since, let's not forget, Tyson Hess was involved, and well, The man knows his Sonic stuff.
All right,
And I have to admire Tyson Hess. He went from being a fan artist to working on a big budget motion picture in a few years.
And arguably saving it, because, okay, let me put it like this. The writing for this movie is good. But, if they had kept with the original design, some of the more emotional moments would not have resonated well, because, again, burn that thing with fire.
I really like this scene.
Same.
Me too.
Yeah, Mom.
Well, that's the end of the movie, clearly.
Yep. Sonic is good at baseball. That's the end of the movie right there.
It's my Sonic Baseball spinoff. Guess I'll have to buy that 2020 Olympic Games to play as the Sonic costume play baseball.
So let's work off some steam.
So he doesn't break the world by mistake.
Justice League with the Flash doing that?
And there you go. This oh,
I guess Sonic's power electricity based now.
Well, I guess that lyric in the song.
Well, it's static
Your trouble
electricity.
keeps you running faster.
It's the whole actually the static electricity thing is actually probably unintentional, but can also be cut it as a callback to the Breezy episode from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog because
Okay, that's a stretch. It's mostly
I said
Flash.
He did
Speed Force and
say
whatnot.
it's probably unintentional.
that's what I
The
said.
phone's still working.
Maybe.
Yeah, Dad, she did say it was probably unintentional.
How's the phone? How's the landline still working?
Emergency generators.
Yeah.
Usually that's how it works for, calls to the police and stuff.
And like with this, it's already better than the Amazing Spider-Man 2 with that blackout scene.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like that's hard.
Which is funny. You mentioned that, Deji,
Also
because
bring up power there.
because initially this film was
Made by Sony. It was going to be made by Sony.
And
but then they put it in turnaround, which
Can you even
means we
imagine
don't
a
want
movie like
someone
this
else
with
having
Avi
it.
Arad as the producer?
No, thank you.
God.
What even is that?
It's what
Sonic
Sonic
Fair.
speaks to.
Well, right.
That's kind of
Yeah.
disgusting.
Well, basically, to the idea.
I mean, is there any difference between seeing a dog shed its fur?
Oh, there's
Basically,
that guy who was also in Watchmen, I believe.
Gary.
Seriously, he always is playing some military official in these movies, I swear.
Okay,
Gary
yeah.
Chalkman is there.
Some
The guy
of you
who
told me
played
that Gary
Predator.
Chalk is in this scene, I think.
Yes. Gary Chalk.
Yes.
Yep.
The basic idea with this movie too is that Sonic's speed triggers a static electricity, which allows him to use abilities like that, basically.
Somehow.
I wonder who they're talking about.
Is this what happened when they were thinking of casting Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe
That's
we
what
should-
we're actually watching.
No,
Just
no,
like
you see,
acting
this is,
section.
this is people on staff trying to convince the higher ups that the original design wasn't good.
Ah, of course.
So you're saying the U.S. military created the Sonic design?
This is also one of the big traits of the movie for me. I grew up watching Jim Carrey back when he first became famous with the first Ace Ventura movie, and watched sort of his movies like Ace Ventura 2, Liar Liar, The Cable Guy, all of those films that mix fantastic use of Jim Carrey's wonderful physical
Hi, Neil
comedy.
McDonough.
Okay, wait. There's a that's I think that guy's name is Neil McDonald or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, Neil McDonough.
He plays a DC villain in the Arrowverse, and he also played the Flash in Injustice.
That's nice.
There we are.
He was also
Probably-
M. Bison and Street Fighter Chun-Li, The Legend of Chun-Li.
So basically now we have the reason that I'm sure 80% of Brits went to see this movie.
That's
Also,
that character
this-
that always works with a
the
lackey.
buttons on his glove are like a Mega Drive controller, by the way. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Yeah, okay. If there's one
I
thing,
love that class.
if there's
So, question: how much of Jim Carrey's performance was actually ad-libbed?
A lot.
we don't know, but
According to Jim Carrey, both him and Jim had a lot of conversations about how Robotnik should act, and Jeff allowed Jim to put his entire spin on the role in a lot of ways.
I will say this though, just most stuff about this movie does give me faith in Jeff Fowler as a director here. Like, sure, he may not have had as much pull initially, but the way he did work with the cast and crew, and how nobody really has a bad thing to say about how his direction went, does give me a good bout of hope for his film career.
As a huge fan of Jim Carrey, I am so glad to see him playing a role like this again.
Oh yeah.
This-
Yeah.
Playing himself again.
Okay. Allow me to explain. Jim Carrey has had something of a similar film career pattern to Eddie Murphy. At some point, he kind of just dropped off the radar. Mind you, this was after turning out a few stinkers here and there.
Like Mr. Popper's Penguins.
That happened.
It also helps that, without spoiling anything, let's just say this movie also serves as kind of an origin story for Doctor Robotnik.
Which
And
I
the
do
The
like.
trailer pretty much spoils the post-credits scene.
And the amazing thing about Jim Carrey's energy in this film is that by this point he was like 57 when he filmed it.
And yet I'd argue this is one of his most energetic performances since Ace Ventura. Like, I mean, maybe it was a combination of him trying to break out of type, which was a thing, but I mean, I'll say this movie alone has definitely reignited his career. At the very least, it's gotten people saying his name again.
That being said, he's also a great dramatic actor. If you want to watch his best dramatic roles, go watch The Truman Show and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah. If you want something
I
instead
know.
more thriller-based, there's also number 23.
I just noticed, like, when people saw this, even my mom, when she's like, "Oh, are you gonna see Sonic?" Yeah, how'd you know about it? Oh, because it's Jim Carrey looks cool. Oh, and this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Jim Carrey slowly went from the thing that people were doubtful the most of to arguably one of the best things in this movie, because holy heck, did they pick a great guy to play Robotnik.
Sorry, go on, sorry.
Also, I won't spoil how, but the reason that Sonic comes up with his special nickname is actually pretty keen in this movie as well.
Not really. They kind of spoil it right now because not Sonic didn't say it, but it's like
Wait for it, Dej.
he
It
just made a
comes with...
Charlotte's Web reference.
Oh yeah, that too. I'm talking about the reason Sonic comes up with like the nickname for him. Like, yeah, like Robotnik said that stuff, but that wasn't so much how Sonic comes up with the nickname yet. You'll see, Dej.
Shit.
You like to monologue to yourself a lot, don't you?
Well, it's not like he has anybody.
It's a kids' movie, so it's part of the crutch.
I mean, okay. To be fair, sure, he's kind of had to do that for most of his life because, well, he has literally had nobody to talk to for.
No, but I get
Probably over a
even
decade.
so, it's the whole kids' movie. Lovable mascot character always has to talk.
Nah, not
Bit of
in
A,
this
bit of
case.
B.
Not really. The context here justifies
Actually,
it.
a couple of things about Jeff Fowler, the director. One thing, okay. On a subjective note, for being a first-time director, I think he does a solid job overall.
Oh, definitely.
And apparently, at least according to his Wikipedia page, so take it with a bit of a grain of salt, he was part of the CG crew for Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Like the game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that working out. Also, seriously, people, trust in Wikipedia these days. It's a much more refined source than it was back in the early 2000s.
Don't tell it to college professors.
It's funny because some colleges are finally allowing the use of Wikipedia.
Well, as long as you don't use it for like your whole essay and stuff like that.
Well, obviously.
We weren't allowed to use it at all when I was in college.
My college was slowly starting to accept it by the time I left.
My college is a bit lenient on that.
So,
as long as you do
Oh,
it.
here we go. Again, this scene is much more horrifying with the original design, and you don't even need to take my word for it.
I just don't. Oh my god.
What?
What?
No. I'm just thinking about that original design. It's like, I don't know why they really thought that was a good idea.
Oh, that's it. Please tell me you aren't one of the guys who's asking for a original model cut of the film movie.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
No original model cuts.
Joe, don't get me wrong. Obviously, the original cut, the original design is terrible. But at the same time, a sick part of me would like to see how this movie comes off with the original design.
Same.
I mean,
Look, I assure you, we probably wouldn't have been nice to this movie. We would have been like, okay, the story is fine, but it's kind of hard to enjoy because of how terrifying Sonic looks.
Oh yeah. And trust me, Des, when it comes to the more emotional segments, it would not work with that original design. Like, not only because
like
that...
a dog cage or something.
Okay, look. Not only was that original design ugly, but it did not emote well, honestly. Like, compared to this model emotes so much better. But that original...
And I remember, not a lot, but I just remember there were so many people being so held back to defending it. It's like, well, people worked hard on it. And it's like, you shouldn't. And it's just...
Okay. I'll just say this. Tom Madison has had so much practice talking to beings that aren't really there that he's a natural at this point.
Like Hugh Jackman.
After Enchanted and Hop, yeah, he's had plenty of practice by this point.
Yeah.
He was an Enchanted.
Okay, there's something that I noticed.
And that's the thing about James Martin. He actually is a really great actor, like especially in kids' movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like even in Hop, like Hop was terrible, but it was not because of him. He
he was
like,
definitely
The plot that was stupid.
Oh yeah, trust me. He was trying his heart out with Hop.
Do you think that's the reason why they casted him to play Tom?
I mean, I can see that being part of the reason.
Yes, he does have experience in this kind of role where he has to talk to a non-existent character. So yes, why not?
And
kind of like how they had Michael Keaton play the Vulture because of Birdman.
Robotnik is there you go.
But yeah, Robotnik has a pretty neat design.
Quick, Robotnik, press up, down, up. For the level
Oh, so sorry, that only works with the NES controller, not the Gen.
So basically, Pedro Robotnik has the power to skip the movie.
Someone never did the old level select code for Sonic Free.
Oh, I thought you were saying the Konami code.
No, that's not the Konami code.
No,
the Konami code uses actually the face buttons, not just the D-pad.
Wait, oh my God, you're Larry the
cable
guy
reference, so that's neat.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Like watching this, it always brings me back. Like it's
like, I mean, seriously though, where was I gotta ask, Pedro, where was this Jim Carrey for all those years? Like, seriously.
Well, that's the thing. It was a combination of two factors. One, after a long period of making nothing but comedies, he really wanted to do something different, which again is fine. There's nothing. He's already proven in those two movies I mentioned earlier that he's capable just as much of being a dramatic actor as he is a comedic actor.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is, like, well, even in
combined-
comedies, he wasn't this animated, though. Like, again, Mr. Popper's Penguins was a thing.
The thing with Mr. Popper's Penguins, Job, is that by that point, the whole 90s thing with Carrey has kind of died out, you know?
Huh.
So people kept casting him in roles that didn't actually cater to his strengths. That's the whole thing. Jeff Fowler had a very specific idea with Jim Carrey for this movie. He wanted to bring back his stuff in the 90s.
Yeah, it's basically 90s Jim Carrey.
Hey, it's
Or
fitting
Grinch.
because he's for a 90s character like Sonic. Doctor. Cute.
Rob Robotnik.
I know your type. You're actually secretly a mutant, aren't you?
Wow, what's wrong with mutants, Robotnik?
Oh, nothing. But mutants are very unpredictable, and I don't like unpredictable.
That's a stereotype there. I don't like that.
Oh, I love this line coming up.
Yeah.
I love how
That-
passive aggressive he is.
I remember this when people saw the trailer for the first time. Not the ones that we got, but like an early screening. That joke was in it.
Yeah, okay. If there's one thing Jim Carrey gets perfect with Robotnik, it's spouting very quotable lines.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Again,
yeah, this is how Sonic...
Again, the Nobody Cares one being my personal favorite.
Oh, my personal favorite one is during a later scene. You know which one that is, but it'll come up much later. But yeah,
The intelligence confidence one.
no, actually, I wasn't expecting
I
that
think this
one.
is the first time I've seen Sonic's ball form be used for stealth.
Again, if there's one thing I do like about this movie, it does come up with interesting reasons for why Sonic can do what he does in the games as well. You know, like a good Origins video game adaptation should do.
Okay, one thing that I wanted to say before is that oh Jesus Christ. Again, I have to say cute raccoon. The design of Robotnik's drones in this movie is kind of subpar. Like, they remind me way too much of a bandmix of Sonic 06 for how anonymous they look.
They become a bit more later on,
There's
but
a reason for that.
Like, I get the idea that you don't want to do standard bandmix because they will look too out of place here, but I don't know. I don't believe there is a good alternative other than generic drones.
well, okay.
The ending of this movie, I can tell, probably implies that we're gonna get a lot more wacky stuff from him in the next movie, probably.
Let me put it like this to you: as the movie goes in further, Robotnik becomes more Eggman-ish the more we go along. Essentially, it's like we said, it's not only an origin for Sonic, but it is also an origin for Dr. Eggman.
Can we point out that's how the U.S. military funded his projects? And it's like, wow, these are pretty dangerous weapons.
Well,
But
let's not.
you let an insane person control them.
Deads. Dr. Gerald Robotnik. That's all I'll say.
Oh,
They're the reasons why he went insane.
Well, that's
You
pretty
just
much.
punched Jim Carrey.
Also, I do like that character. I do like that character bit about how Sonic was noble enough to give himself up to save Tom's life. Again, it's a little detail, but a detail I like.
Also, this movie totally confirms that you can actually just defeat enemies by jumping on them. 0 out of 10.
Well, Gio, let's just say...
It's not his ball form, so...
Jump into him in his ball form, though, too.
Yeah. He hasn't learned that yet.
Oh no, you killed Wheatley.
Not just that, the great technology of the United States defeated by mild inconveniency with an ashtray.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's okay.
So it's an Apple product. Gotcha.
Nice. Also, one thing that I noticed also before, I get it, it's probably intentional, but Sonic shoes look weird.
Oh!
Don't worry, they...
Hold on to that thought, too. Until
Okay.
like an hour from now or something. Well, not an hour, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
Ow.
It's a slightly different take on the Eggman character, but one that works. It remembers that he is incredibly egotistical. It just adds on new stuff to that.
That's why I said Jim Carrey was always a great choice in my eyes, because
My guess,
Jim Carrey is great at playing egotistical characters, as we've seen in Liar Liar.
my guess, Pedro, is that, well, a lot of people doubted him as Robotnik when he was first announced, probably because, again, we hadn't really seen that kind of Jim Carrey in for so long, so as far as people knew, it wasn't still in him. But now it is, and like I said, his career has made an apparent resurgence ever since. Not only that, he is willingly coming back for a sequel to this movie. Like, Jim Carrey
He
from...
hates doing sequels.
Yeah, but, I mean,
Even the movie critics themselves specifically said that one of the best things about the movie is how it gives Jim Carrey an excuse to go back to his old comedic 90s ways.
And the good thing is that Jim Carrey has gone on to say that he really enjoyed this project. Again, he must have if he signed on for a sequel, which, you know, given it's Jim Carrey, is practically unheard of.
Also, safety first, Sonic, your seatbelt. That's animal abandonment, Mr. Marston. You cannot do that.
But he's sentient, so it doesn't count.
There's no rule about saying you can't abandon animals who can talk.
Not to mention too, as far as he knows so far, this thing even counted as an animal?
I mean,
And also, this scene was made specifically to answer the question, he's Sonic, he can run fast, why not just run to San Francisco?
He doesn't know where to go. And before anyone asks, oh, why doesn't he give Sonic a map? Sonic doesn't know how this world works. As in, he's never really been anywhere but Green Hills because, you know, keeping safe. So even if he did have a map, he wouldn't exactly be able to tell where he was.
My fear headcanon is that he wanted a friend, so he deliberately said that he doesn't know.
Probably.
Well, that can work too.
That could work too. That said, though, yeah, I'll also give this movie credit. They do make sure to watch out for the plot holes as well. I mean, okay, I do get the feeling that they knew what
plot hole.
Well, again, like I said, as they watched out for the plot hole that people would have brought out about, well, why doesn't Sonic just run to San Francisco? No, they did address that.
So there you go. We also got the answer. What would Sonic look like if he had an afro haircut? There you go.
I'm sure that alone made all the people in the entire happy.
And before anyone says, like Shiro said in our Sonic 1/8-bit playthrough, what do you mean, Pedro, haircut? Those are his quills. Not according to the American Manual of Sonic 1, which according to him, he has a spiked haircut.
The mohawk.
Which is both soft enough to be considered hair and hard enough to tear through metal.
The idea is like...
It's magic.
Okay.
A different dimension.
Okay.
It's not exactly something, you know.
Okay. Here...
Yeah, how can a human being be shaped like an egg? Okay, checkmate, atheist.
Well, to be fair...
You clearly haven't seen enough John Goodman, Dej.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, Dej. A lot of people can be shaped like eggs. But anyway, though, where was I? But yeah, Oh, goody, this scene coming up. But okay,
I love this scene.
okay, I'm not gonna act like this is like the best movie ever, but I really do get the feeling that the people working on this film knew, okay, we have a Sonic project. Sonic has had a bit of a bumpy ride here and there. We have to do our best to make sure that this movie is definitely well up to par. Again, I'm not gonna act like it's the most amazing movie ever, but it really does feel like there was concentrated effort to make sure that this movie avoided a lot of the pit trappings that a lot of movies of this caliber fall into.
Especially considering that that after Tim Miller's departure, Jeff Fowler basically had to do the best he could with what the executives and Tim Miller basically left him with.
Yeah, look.
Well, I mean, Tim Miller was employed to just be an executive producer in the first place.
And hey, Dwibs, just like with Dark Fate, he did a crap job with the PR with this movie, because I recall he was the one who was all about how fans were too entitled about wanting a better looking Sonic design.
Well,
So Men in Black International then.
to be fair, though, there are a few people that are as charming as Will Smith.
I even forgot who owns the Men in Black movie license right now.
Sony, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well,
I think they own the
reference,
franchise as a whole.
in fact, that reference might be a leftover from when this movie was originally a Sony production, maybe.
He's gonna say what he did to a bully who humiliated him.
Listen here.
Hmm. Sure.
Wait for it.
Hold on.
Jesus!
Something you want to admit in front of a cop?
No, he's U.S. government. He can get away with it.
Also, what is he gonna do?
Yeah, he's a man with a plan, and he's out for vengeance. But yeah, I freaking love the dark humor with Eggman's character. Like, sure, yeah, he was an orphan, but he rose above that. He was bullied. Okay, then, he made sure that that bully knew not to mess with him in the worst possible way.
Again, Jim Carrey sells every single line that he's...
Like, I mean, okay, not gonna lie, they definitely did a great job picking the cast for this film as well.
It's the thing. That's the one thing about Jim Carrey. He's the god of physical comedy. Like the kind of wacky physical stuff he does in his '90s movies. If it was anybody else doing it, it would just come across as weird or just annoying. But when it's Jim doing it, he just does it so well. Like he has some kind of unique gift for physical comedy.
That's what I was getting at earlier. Yeah, considering that when he was filming this, he was around 57. I thought he wouldn't be able to do that anymore. But lo and behold.
Tempting.
Sorry, he's an actor.
Wait, guys, I get it. You see, I actually know his father. He's an X-Man who goes by the name Beast.
Sure, why not?
Well, okay, actually his father is Kelsey Grammer in Beast makeup, but still.
No, her mother is Mystique. I mean, his mother is Mystique.
You know, it's funny because, wait, then that means that he's Nightcrawler's brother.
And Rogue's brother as well, apparently.
Well, I think, isn't Mystique more Rogue's adopted mother?
I don't know. No. Marvel,
Kick-
they make shit up.
Well,
They
so-
retcon shit up.
This is the beginning of one particular thing for Sonic. He has doing a bucket list of the things he wants to do.
Until he realizes something.
Hey,
Yeah.
come on, guys, let's bucket list.
With a montage, I guess, song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It is 90s-ish.
There you go.
Beautiful.
So I actually do wonder, because there were some clever sequences like this one with the pencil, but even beforehand, where we only saw the shoes, where it's clearly like a person that's doing that instead of being the CGI animator Sonic. I wonder who actually did that.
Maybe it was Jeff Fowler.
Or
Right.
Ben, maybe. Because usually when it comes to these things, they usually have the actor himself do these things, because that way the animators can look at Ben Schwartz's physical performance and take inspiration from that on how to animate Sonic.
So there was an early concept art that had Chris Evans with Sonic getting ready for a fight. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh yeah, I do. I think Chris Evans was. Oh,
We don't care kindly to blue 33-year-olds around here, I guess.
Of course.
Do you know?
No, you don't.
oh boy.
Oh wait, whoops.
Yeah. No, it only works in movies, Sonic.
Yeah, those balls are actually stronger than you'd think.
Okay, so question. So anyone who's been at a bar,
Bar fight!
do these types of things happen?
Okay.
Depends. It depends on what kind of bar.
Usually in more isolated places in my countries, there are reports of these done for the laws.
Because I don't go to bar. I don't go to bars.
I've never seen a bar fight, but like there are pubs that people know, like that usually have things happen, so we just don't go to them.
Oh, here we go. We see how this movie took inspiration from, of course, the Over the Hedge movie from the early 2000s.
Of course.
I saw people who was like, "Oh, Over the Hedge." I'm like, "Oh, no. Actually, it's a reference to Futurama."
Like, yeah, I honestly... okay, I get that X-Men Days of Future Past was popular, but come on,
Certainly idiot
people.
Sonic.
There were plenty of other movies that did it aside from
But
that.
Sonic has super speed and whatnot, so
Well,
He's our favorite idiot too.
well, so do most people who usually do this sort of thing, Dave.
Also, really, Sonic? Veggie, what are you, 7?
it's his main gimmick. And not to mention, like, he was reading a Flash comic book or a stack of them.
Well, that's the
Is
thing,
he
though.
still like 15 or something here? Like, how old is he?
I guess it has to be because it's been 10 years since he's been on this planet, and he was already, baby when he came in, so maybe it's like 15.
Well, remember too, in the game, according to the manuals of the games, Sonic is 16, so you can say maybe he's 16. He was 6 at the beginning, and now he's 16, basically.
How long is this?
I don't know.
And here we go.
Oof.
We won.
Let's run. For real.
Someone free the poor guy.
Yeah.
Hey, Tio, he'll be rich for 2020. Trust me, he'll thank him later.
See, Sonic actually also learned, at least from that shot, he got the safety belt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he managed to piss off an entire bar, but
So it's a day
Well
that
done.
ends. So it's a day that ends in Y.
they continuation of my bucket list: annoy everyone.
Hilarious in hindsight with 2020.
Again,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
like I said, that guy wrapped in toilet paper is gonna thank him in about a month.
That's the thing. Before we started watching this today, Alice asked, "I wonder how people are gonna think of the toilet scene, the toilet paper scene now."
Well, I mean, at least we can still find toilet paper now, right?
Yes, yes.
Hey, look, I recognize that reference.
What's the reference?
Okay, you may have noticed, but you notice how he was teetering on the ledge there in one of the bits there, just like how he does in the classics.
Also,
Okay.
really.
I
Oh
was
my
paying attention to
god,
the
really?
Yeah, honestly, that's a fart joke I'm fine with.
But you want to reference chili dogs with that? Like,
I mean, I'm kind of inclined to agree. I mean, I don't like toilet humor that much anyway, but like,
That one's
Man,
fine.
you must have hated Flushed Away, huh?
I didn't even watch that movie.
Huh.
Pedro, you know what we have to do, right?
I'm
I've
surprised.
heard it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Like, I'm surprised you haven't seen it. It's one of the most British animated films out there, too.
It's one of the,
He's Welsh.
it's one of
That's why.
also, question. Okay,
Probably.
since Sonic actually mentioned it, I know that it's not really important to know, but do we know if the time in Sonic's original dimension where it comes from flows differently than
We
in
don't know.
on Earth?
We don't know for sure.
Okay.
We're gonna have to wait for the second movie, possibly, to know that.
Oh,
So
that's
apparently,
cute.
in another language, when Tom made the mushroom joke, they do because it wouldn't work in another. It only works in English because puns. Sonic does
Oh,
mention.
snap.
Okay.
Authorities are advised to watch out for his eye beams.
Well, it works both ways considering what's in Superman Returns.
He played Lois's husband, right? In that.
In
No,
Superman Returns, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it's just a very forgettable movie. All I remember is the piano scene.
Of course. Hey, I need to applaud the tenacity of a guy who got beat the shit out of a Hedgehog and still try to stand up.
Okay.
Now his neck is broken again.
I will admit, it is actually pretty neat that we have an Eggman who can physically fight as well. I don't mind
I'm
that.
sorry, have you not seen Game Eggman? He is an Olympic champion in boxing.
True, true.
Also fencing.
And finger skating. Eggman can outrun Sonic.
That too. Yeah, in Sonic 2 he can.
She's cute.
And for
And the Game Gear stuff.
granted, I like to assume that Sonic's just messing with him.
Yeah. Again, let's not forget, guys, Eggman's the one who came up with that brilliant device in Quartz Quadrant. That's right, I'm going to defeat Sonic with a treadmill! That is roaring down the platform that I myself am on.
That's right, I am going to defeat Sonic underwater, but give him a fair chance to him to take these bubbles that he breathes air with.
And he only has to hit me once.
So what do you want to Tom the Cop?
So yeah, Tom's a terrorist now.
Totally.
Yeah, there is. That's a major problem with this movie at a certain point.
Well, there you go. There's the next reaction then. That helps you.
We're going to Neo Green Hill. Be quiet.
No, we're going to Emerald Hill Zone. Relax. It's the better stage, anyway.
Sunset Hill.
Leaf Forest.
That's not a hill.
It's on hills. Forests can be on hills.
Okay, I guess we needed this kind of camera angle. All right.
Well, Tail. Let's face it. We just have to watch Jim from all possible angles.
Of course, it's like a diamond with many facets.
We can't miss a single angle in shot of this.
I really like when early reports were saying about Jim Carrey's dancing scene. It was like, oh, everybody dance now is playing.
Yeah.
I wish they kept that in here.
So, here we get to see one of Eggman's more elaborate devices in this movie.
Harpoon.
A gun.
Yeah, it's an harpoon.
Yeah.
Reminder that apparently in universe, Robotnik with these kind of gadgets has managed to be officially an anti-terrorist force that has managed to defeat Al-Qaeda off screen.
Like, that's the thing. Like, yeah, he technically has, but one has to wonder, when there are no other threats, what does he get to do in his free time?
Mm-hmm.
Search.
Yeah, you're gonna do whatever that is.
And that's how he learned the drop
The speed
spin
move.
dash.
Well, more like that looked more like the drop dash than anything.
Well, that's why I said the drop spin dash. I just misspoke there. I meant to say the
yeah.
drop dash.
You'll get used to it.
Bonus life.
Also, we're about to get the meme line, I think.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, not this, but
I.
Oh,
yeah,
This
that.
one. This one, hold on.
Oh dear. So. Yeah, it ain't over till it's over.
it's the
Actually,
fucking
it is actually crazy that he had a contingency plan for it.
it's
Like,
the
well, that's
Batmobile.
the
Like
So here's the
If they
thing.
managed to somehow destroy my vehicle, I just had another vehicle inside.
Pretty
again, just
much.
like the Batmobile.
And not only that, but it kind of sort of hatched out
Okay,
like an egg.
these actually, structure-wise, does remind a bit of a motobug. So
Yep. Like I said, as the movie goes in further, the badniks do get a bit more elaborate. Are you fighting over a Nintendo Switch?
No, it's a laptop. You see, if this was a Peachy movie, that probably would have blown up.
probably.
Pew pew.
Ooh.
I'll give it this. The action scene is good.
Yes, it's well choreographed.
Nope. Here's another contingency one.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah, this is enough for Jackson. Like, this is enough for Will Turner to say, "Man, you really need to get a girlfriend."
There you go. See, Tail, he
It's
literally
all
said,
about family.
It's about family.
That when's my Fast and Furious crossover?
But you know that it's possible.
Sorry, Sonic. I don't think humans are capable of doing that. Unless, of course, according to Sonic, if it's Mel's from Sonic 06.
No, that's the opposite. Whoop.
Do you have another contingency plan?
Yep.
Yeah, yes, he does. Another contingency plan.
That's adorable.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Sonic.
Oh, a little less
maybe,
cute.
maybe not.
I don't know, Sonic. Why don't you ask Sonic.exe?
Now it's a convertible.
Yeah, you just got a better car.
Yeah, what year is it?
Self-destruct.
Also, you can tell that this was clearly the original design because it's like, why don't you just take off your glove? Like this was meant to be. It's like one of those jokes that wouldn't work.
Again,
Oh, snap.
Jeff Fowler had to do the best with what he was left with.
Okay. So I'm not gonna lie, there's actually a bit of a clever thing with this, but I'm going to point it out later. Because, yeah, Sonic's not doing so hot now.
I know exactly what you're trying to reference. Now the question is, who's gonna get to it fast?
I think you mean first.
I know what I said.
Oh boy.
Hold on. Here's one of the best. Hold on.
Yeah, you're fired.
But there, if he fires
Oh
him, who
boy.
beat up?
Oh, this scene.
He cares very much about his robots.
Oh.
Oh.
But yet
I
he
thought-
can't make himself a girlfriend.
When I first saw that bit, I thought the twist was going to be that guy was part robots.
That would be dumb.
Woo!
He was part cyborg.
Super dramatic. Okay, I think someone else mentioned it, but who did the score, actually?
Tom
Hulkenborg.
Hulkenborg.
Okay.
Hey, JoJo, she is,
Hey!
and yes, she is adorable.
Her name is JoJo.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's her full name, Jolene.
Not quite.
Plutonium.
Yes, it's plutonium.
I mean, technically.
The dog doesn't like it.
Well, not really sure, as we're going to see in a few minutes.
Oh.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Also, again, hey, what's that?
Play-
Crush
A-
40.
ASMR playlist.
Tunes of Anarchy.
Also, also, you may have noticed that Robotnik apparently is a Crush 40 fan, since Crush 40 was one of his playlists.
Yeah.
At least he has good taste in music.
It is a nice reference, but I would have done it be a Paul Shortino playlist.
Oh,
AKA the guy
yeah.
The guy who sings Eggman for Sonic Adventure 2.
Fun fact, actually, Jim Carrey picked this song in particular to dance towards. And speaking of which, we got another reference coming up, and I love
Evil Lab.
he literally calls it his evil lab. Like, at least he doesn't deny that he is evil. He loves every second of it. Also, you can thank this movie for making Where Evil Grows a much more popular song now. Like, I kid you not, most people probably didn't even know this song existed until this movie.
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to be working right now?
Well, sure, this is how he passes the time while his machine is analyzing the quill.
I think a recurring theme from these movies that a lot of people are more alone than they need to be and just need to find someone else.
Yeah.
Well, what do you...
The problem is that Robotnik's not exactly a pleasant person to be around with.
What are you talking...
Well,
So-
I guess it... Oh,
Hold on.
speaking of which...
Wow, that may be the nicest thing he said to Stone this whole movie.
It's like that clip from MST3K. How dare you to be kind to me?
I mean, Attila, what are you talking about? Robotnik's got his machines. He's perfectly fine.
No, I was about to say, in a twisted way, I guess Robotnik finding his obsession against Sonic kind of fills the quota.
Yeah, kind of.
Also, random unnecessary note. Robotnik and Agent Stone is a crack ship of mine analysis.
Of course.
Honestly, Agent Stone
Who's the
is...
mean one, you or Alice?
Sorry, what?
Who's the mean one?
No, I mean, like, those two are a crack ship of ours.
Oh.
Honestly, I actually do dig Agent Stone as a lackey of Eggman. He has an amazing sense of loyalty. You question why? At the same time, you can't help but enjoy him.
I don't want to see Sonic Speed, thank
Oh,
you.
fun fact, Tio.
They won't show you.
Fun fact, Tio. We probably were going to see... We actually were going to see his bare feet with the original version.
And then Tyson's Hess is like,
So just
his feet are too special.
It could have been worse, I get it.
Okay.
Actually, if we see, technically, Sonic characters canonically have blob feet.
So anyway, basically, Tio, the reason Sonic shoes are wrecked like that is because, well, hey, when you're constantly running at 100 miles per hour as a jog, you tend to ruin your shoes over time.
They don't make cat smelling salts. Oh shit.
Woo!
Of course.
Did you just give him catnip?
Well, they had to make that reference at some point, didn't they?
Huh, is the Rock president?
Not yet.
It's funny because it's funny.
Yeah, The Rock is president and Tom Hanks is vice president.
It's funny because Dwayne Johnson played Barack Obama on SNL. It makes sense in context.
Yeah, he calls himself The
Rock.
Rock Obama.
Basically, he was essentially the Hulk version of Obama and all that. It was
Yeah.
back when SNL was funnier.
Yeah,
Now
so
she's gonna
finally
scream
someone
at him.
remembers a time when they were funny.
Yeah, that's a realistic reaction to have. That feeling when the guy you called Crazy Carl was actually the guy who knew what was going on. That's quite an interesting way to reevaluate your life.
Sonic is real, everyone.
Hooray.
Hey, look, 10-year-old me would have been loving this. And I'll admit, even 26-year-old me would probably love this. Oh, that is so adorable! And that's how he gets his iconic shoes.
Shoes of these, like, come on, people would have bought them.
Okay, Dad. Here's the real reason. Because obviously these particular shoes weren't in the making. It was different shoes he was wearing with the original design.
So what do you think?
Yeah.
Not only that,
So,
though,
like, just make. I hope they do this for the sequel because,
yeah.
like, I don't get why. Sega hasn't decided to, hey, look at Sonic shoes. Let's make official shoes based off of them.
McDonald's did not re-release the Szechuan sauce when the Brown 2020 remake hit the theaters. Hit Disney Plus.
No, I don't want to go through that nonsense again.
Yeah.
This bit. Well, it is man's best friend.
Cats are better.
I will say this, though.
Shit, I didn't say anything.
I will just say this, though. I would not have been able to have believed the adorable scene between him and JoJo if it were with the original design, because
the original design also had very horrible shoes, if I recall correctly.
It did.
No one cares, lady. Sorry.
But seriously though, what sort of kid JoJo's age would be able to, look at that thing and not scream in horror?
Maybe she's a weird kid and is into weird things.
I like that.
Some people think raccoons are adorable.
Raccoons can be adorable. Just depends on how you get them proper.
No.
Why doesn't Sonic just run up the side of the building?
That's actually a good point.
He has to build up momentum, and also that's the thing. Running up the side of a building is not that easy. Especially with the way the curvature here and there.
I guess a better argument would be if you get on top of another building and then jump onto it.
This delivery. Oh, speaking of
also,
which...
this joke is still here for some reason.
Yeah, this joke kind of still doesn't land. So I'm sorry.
I feel like this joke is better now with the full scene, but yeah, okay, I won't deny. When we first saw this joke the very first time with the original Gangster's Paradise trailer, it did not register with me. That said, no, maybe it's because the movie's better overall than I thought, but I do get a kick out of this joke. It's definitely not one of the best ones, but it's fine enough. Like, the very absurdity and dark humor of it, I feel, is what helps it the best.
Yeah, Sonic, you have to stay quiet.
You don't want to know.
Ew.
So, here's the problem.
It's a good thing no bird actually picked that up.
Yeah.
Probably
Or
too
it
heavy
didn't
for him.
rain and it dropped.
Well, okay. To be fair, wait, was it on the absolute ledge? I feel like it was still inside
let
the
me
pocket.
try to think. I think like a day or two have passed since he dropped them. So,
although there is one major problem here. Imagine if Sonic just went inside the portal. And that was it.
Oh.
I would still be listed as a terrorist.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well,
you didn't think this through, did you?
Well, to be fair, Tom just seems to want to help Sonic out at the moment. My guess is like, well, Tom's mentality is deal with this problem, then we'll deal with clearing my name some way, somehow.
Also the fact that he doesn't really have much of another choice, so at least he's trying to do something good as much as he can, I guess.
I mean, if I was him, I just would have just hopped in with him. It's like, yep, might as well.
I mean, would you really be willing to live for the rest of your life in a mushroom planet?
Live in the rest of my life in a mushroom planet, or be a wanted man from the federal government?
I'll take the mushrooms. I don't even like them.
Yeah. Do you know what they do in Super Guantanamo Bay?
Also, remind me again. Let me check quickly. Marsden's career.
Aww.
Everything. Close enough.
I mean, you saved my life. I got hit when I didn't have any rings, so that usually means game over for me. Oops.
Bummer.
Oh, shit.
And there's the Eggmobile.
They actually put this in Sonic Dash.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
complete
And,
with the City Escape like San Francisco level.
oh, busting a new outfit.
Look.
Hmm.
And the goggles.
Dressed as an aviator.
Oh.
Hold on.
How dare you?
Oh. Huh. He's not entirely wrong.
I have your hair.
There you go. I'm now using Sonic's
Wait.
electric energy. There you go.
We're going to get arguably one of the best lines in this entire movie.
Panic.
Kill them! Wait, this line. But that is my favorite line from Eggman in this movie.
That was
That line is so great. I'm not even gonna look.
that fit the presentation the other day.
Yes.
You better hurry up before he presses the button, then, Sonic, because
Sonic doesn't know, though.
Mm-hmm. What kind of song is this, actually?
It's called Catch You If You Can. Or something.
So, using Sonic's quill, now Eggman can move at the speed of Sonic. Oh, snap. Okay, so you notice how Sonic got hit and his rings fell out, just like in the game. Remember how he was nearly dying to you? Because he got hit without any rings.
Ha.
I'm willing to bet that one was intentional, and it is
It's a nice
delicious-
detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
it's a ring sound effect.
Alright, sorry, my mistake. This song was called Catch Me, I'm Falling by Kelly Fenton again.
Anyway, Dead, I completed the reference.
Oh, that's not what I was about. That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh,
You'll wait later.
Oh, okay.
really?
They survived this.
Oh, not the time. Rape jokes! Yay!
Come on. That's...
I mean, out of context, yeah.
Yeah,
but
I
in
mean, same thing
context-
with you have a child in your bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like,
So, time for the climactic finish.
It was also a genius idea to have this take place in San Francisco because Escape from the City.
Yeah. This is illegal, you know.
I'm pretty sure a lot of this is illegal.
he's the U.S. government. He can go with it.
Or will he?
Now you see, what would have been funnier if there was a truck chasing them.
It's funny because he drives a truck similar to the gun truck in this movie.
Yeah.
Hey, the smash pose!
Actually, that's from Lost World, believe it or not.
Both Lost World and Smash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome
Paris.
to Paris.
Oh, this one. I love mime jokes.
What?
And that mime will be forever known as the greatest mime forever now.
Daddy, that is the best mime I've ever seen.
Oh look, the Great Wall of China.
And if you
Well, I
look,
mean, it's a better use of the Great Wall of China than in Superman 4.
I thought you were gonna say the Mulan movie, actually.
I thought he was gonna say Crash 3.
You know, it's interesting how Eggman didn't fire at that.
Well, because he has a respect for the great wonders of the world.
No, he doesn't.
Well, yeah, Joe clearly didn't.
He said that as he's destroying pyramids.
Hey. Those specific pyramids in Sphinx aren't one of the great 8 wonders of the world.
Actually, they are,
Okay,
Joe.
good to see how selective
The entire
you are.
complex of Giza is actually considered, Joe.
Oh wait, hey, there you go. There you go, guys. There you go, guys. He just said it. You're not allowed there. That's one of those great 7 wonders. Funny, that wasn't on the forecast for today. And once again, his rings have fallen off.
Yeah, that's what I was going with, but yeah. Which is funny. He knocked all his rings.
Wait, that's literally what I mentioned earlier.
Yeah. I was thinking of this scene, not the first one.
Ew.
Ooh!
That's 2 times now.
One more?
Oh, this bit. Was he going Batman there for a bit?
Go.
Eggman versus the Donut Lord.
Yes. You need to talk to a psychologist.
He's a psychologist.
You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
Jesus Christ!
He must be feeling very vindicated right now.
Yeah.
Pull that down, Jesus.
Put that away, please.
He out the gun telling the guy to put down the chainsaw.
Well, that's the thing. He's a trained official. The guy with the chainsaw might not know exactly what he's doing.
I don't know.
Oh, wait, here we go. Wow.
Although I think Robotnik should be smart right now and close his window, just in case.
Well, like he said, somebody should go.
His ego gets in the way of his rationalization.
I'll just say it's like there's a guy with a gun pointing at him.
Anyway, but like you said, guys, somebody should get ice for the body.
Oh, wait a minute.
And by the power of
By the power of Grayskull.
Does he become supersonic?
No.
We need Chaos Emerald for that.
Yeah, I can't think of it. Well, I guess it makes sense. It wouldn't make sense to have also Chaos Emerald
Let's
here.
not shove everything into one movie.
I do like how this movie does exhibit restraint and not forcing everything. Also, I do like this original detail that when Sonic starts to power up, his eyes glow blue instead of green.
His power is by emotion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Chaos Emeralds are kind of powered by emotion, so...
They come.
And there's also the
plot point.
contentious, and there's also the argument that Sega has tried to limit their usage in Sonic products in recent times.
Oh, here we go.
What was that duality thing? One side blue, one side red for Sonic.
Jeff Fowler saw the Matrix. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, get it? Eggman represents red, Sonic represents blue.
No. It was in his goggles. Like there was one blue Sonic and one red Sonic.
They're 3D goggles. So I guess it's mostly the light reflecting on one side.
1, 2,
Yeah, it's just
3,
like the bosses. It takes
3,
like a month
4,
to hit.
5, 6,
5.
7, 8.
A lot more than 8.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it was on the 8th shot where, it was pretty much.
Is there like a consistency on how much hit points?
It's usually 8.
Okay.
It's usually 8. Yeah.
In the classics, it was 8.
Lost World was free. For some reason. Then other games started having a health bar for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that.
Here we go.
Hey, remember that Mushroom Hill dimension we hate? Well, we're gonna send you right into it. There you go.
Why does everyone hate Mushroom Hill in this movie? It's a good stage. Now, Sandopolis, I can understand.
Well,
Bye!
Sonic hates mushrooms, so sorry.
Oh no, I hate that Hedgehog. It's so disappointing.
Well, that's the thing, Tio. He's more obsessed with that hedgehog.
Yes, that's actually a good difference between him and the games and the movie. This one, he's obsessed with Sonic and wants to know what makes him tick. The other one is just an
Oh,
And you know what? I can buy their friendship here. That is the number one reason why I prefer Tom over, well, not well done sidekicks to Sonic.
You don't
Sorry,
like Chip?
it's arguably more, genuine that Sonic entails of friendship in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, this bit.
All right.
That is cute. That's cute. Even though I feel personally attacked by it, that is very cute.
Hey, yeah, this is basically like my mother dealing with me.
Oh my
You
god!
want to tell us something?
I feel called out, and I'm okay with that.
Wait! Don't you
You
see,
want to tell
guys?
us something here?
Don't you see, guys? JoJo is going to be the one who starts the Sonic fan base in this world.
Unfortunately, the twist is that Donut Lord is also Stu Redmond, meaning that everyone else, including Sonic, will die to the Captain Trips virus.
Oh
Oh.
no.
I don't get it.
The stand. The actor who plays Tom the Cop also plays one of the protagonists of that. At least the 2020 series.
I'm sorry, when you said stand, I was thinking of JoJo because the character is called JoJo.
Beautiful.
It's a lo-fi
Hey!
remix.
Guys, hey guys,
Green
For
Hill.
painting.
hey
Also, a
guys.
nice little piano rendition of Green Hills, eh?
Yeah.
Green Hills, sorry. Green Hills is Sonic 2.
Okay, this is a bit where you can definitely tell this was originally supposed to have been shot in 2019 of November. And I'll explain why later. And also
It never
for
happened.
Is it money?
sort of
It's... Oh.
a $50 gift card to Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
Wait,
okay.
wait, hold on. And that's how you can tell this was supposed to have been released in November 2019, because that was around the time when the Olive Garden Neverending Pasta Bowl was going about. Because by the time the film actually released, they weren't doing the Neverending Pasta Bowl. Basically, the Neverending Pasta Bowl, that's a seasonal thing. They normally do it in the fall.
Then lockdown happened.
I just had to bless the fact that we don't have Olive Garden.
I was gonna say, meanwhile, me and Stu
Yeah,
were
you-
sitting. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
me and
you
Stu
were-
were sitting.
Hold on, let Weebs tell.
Meanwhile, me and Stu were sitting in cinemas going, "What the hell's an Olive
What
Garden?"
the fuck is an Olive Garden?
Look, I'll just say, Tio, you live in Italy. I'm sure there's pasta stores across the street.
Yes, but we don't have these weird shit like never-ending pasta challenge.
But it's very delicious.
I've never had, so I'll just trust Jova's judgment on that.
Oh,
Also, it's a more simple thing that why having this when you can just have as a genuine article all the day. But that's not a topic for today. Is it still intact?
No. When they said go... Well, okay, technically yes, but when they said go back to his cave, they didn't mean his hidden cave zone.
Don't you mean a hidden palace zone?
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I'm clever.
Aww.
Also, another Easter egg, the maracas from Some of the Amigo. That's
Yep.
nice.
Wait, those are literally the
They are.
peripherals?
They are, yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
Can we get another game, maybe? I don't know.
And then in around 15 years, Tom and his wife will tell Sonic to get out of the Arctic.
It's time to go
Sonic,
to
you're a
college,
big boy
young
now.
man.
Yeah, that's gonna be Sonic 3.
Sonic, it's time for you to go out. Maybe meet a pink hedgehog or something.
But I don't even know about a pink hedgehog.
Why do
And
you
then
ask?
Sonic
'Cause
got
they're
mauled by a golden retriever. Alas.
The end.
Well, it's not the end yet. There's still.
Yeah, I know that there's
Oh,
like two
here we
post-credit
go.
scene.
Okay,
There we
listen
are.
to this because I swear Jim Carrey starts to sound more like Mike Pollock by the end.
Yeah, I'm just like, did he use his voice as a reference?
He's saying, guys.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
Poor Wilson.
Ha ha ha.
Wait, listen.
Ah,
Seriously, he starts to sound like Mike Pollock here. It's kind of amazing.
Doctor Robotnik survival game. Mickey now Sega.
Oh, this line he's about to say.
You weren't, you
This-
liar.
Yeah, this movie was, you can tell it was meant to come out by November 2019.
Hey, he's moving like the Death Egg Robo.
Ah.
He's slowly losing it.
Hey, it's got
Yeah.
plenty of food.
Yeah.
Dweebs, the mushrooms are not something that you should consume without analyzing
These
them.
are space mushrooms, remember?
Basically, these are mystical mushrooms. They give you nourishment, but they make you pack on some pounds.
Of course, we had to have the credits in the format.
And
Hey,
it
it's
is
great.
wonderful.
Basically, they recreate some of the scenes from the movie in pixel art, basically.
That is nice, actually.
Based
know
on the
who did the
Sega
pixel
video
art?
game.
Yeah, I was about to mention, did
Tyson?
yeah, did Tyson actually did it or something?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Also, this song's a bop.
I'm not too big on it, unfortunately.
Hey, Sonic 2, only with donuts.
Getting donuts.
We need a Sonic 2 XL Donut Edition.
Sonic 2 XL Donut Oma Chow Edition.
Hey, the Sonic Free special stages.
With the rubber band.
Oh yeah, this is my
Yeah,
favourite.
We
it's
are
the last
soon.
Sonic zone.
Bar fight zone. My favourite.
I'm actually surprised that they didn't make a game based off the movie.
I'm kind of
Like
glad.
Deji said, there was a tie-in event to some of the mobile games, but that was it.
And also, I don't think they had much faith in the movie to begin with
Yeah.
initially. So
Yeah, remember, apparently this turned out to be a sleeper hit in the end anyway.
yeah,
Remind me, Dej, when they brought in, like, the Sonic movie Eggmobile, did it also have, like, you know, Jim Carrey's Eggman in it?
No,
or
it was
just...
closed. It was closed off for copyright reason. Essentially, they
yes.
limit themselves to
Oh,
the
but
Drollman
wait,
drone.
guys,
Yeah,
there's
here's the last
still
post-credit
this other
scene.
bit.
Yep, one
I
more.
remember something about this.
Welcome to the part where everyone in the theater lost their collective minds.
No, I actually cheered. Like,
It's the taxidermed fox.
what?
and he's voiced by Colin Bernard.
Yeah, so for Sonic, you get a celebrity to replace RCS, but Tails can keep his voice actress.
A lot of people think that this was mainly just like for a place.
Like, okay, it's the last bit. Just get whoever voices him in the game.
Okay. There are two theories. One, that this was like, a placeholder voice actress, or two, this was a last minute addition, as in like, well, maybe Tails wasn't originally even gonna be in this movie. Then there's also people wondering, maybe Tails was originally supposed to be in this movie, but he also had a different design to coincide with
again, like the
Sonic's original
taxidermy fox.
design.
That's the thing, Joe. Movies like Guardians of the Galaxy has stuff like Howard the Duck speaking in the post-credit scene for like one line, and yet, still credit voice actor like Seth Green. So it doesn't seem to me it's something that like they had to rush for this kind of thing. I don't know.
But yeah, that was the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and I enjoyed it back then, and I still enjoy it now.
Can I go first?
Twibs.
Sure.
Yeah. Especially considering this is an era where we we weren't aware at the time that this was going to be one of the few movies that people were going to see in cinemas. Overall, this movie was a massive surprise. I'm not going to say it was my favorite video game movie, nor is it my favorite one that came out my favorite movie that came out that year. That honor would still go to Bad Boys for Life.
Nice.
But yeah, everything here is about what you'd expect from a Sonic movie. You got Sonic running fast, trying to overcome a situation that he's not really used to, and with the help of some decent human characters. I mean, the music's a bit, honestly, outside of using the game tracks. But
wait, hold on, I gotta point out that yes, Sonic character designer supervisor Takashi Iizuka. The guy who was horrified by that original design.
He was like, nope, not my son.
That was Takashi Iizuka's main role, to go, no, don't, please.
I'm begging you. Carry on.
Like, poor Iizuka, first he had to see the original Boom Sonic design before he said no to that. Then he had to say no to this.
Yeah, apparently the Boom design nearly gave him a heart attack.
What? Yeah. But anyway, I mean, I see this movie as more of a decent start for this particular incarnation of Sonic. You have a good foundation. You decide to just tell a more simple story at first. This is the first live-action movie on Sonic, so now you can expand on more with the second movie.
Yes.
So hopefully that second movie does that. Okay, and in terms of what we just saw at the opening the closing, the final scene just then, I highly doubt they'll probably just get someone else to voice Tails.
Tom Holland as Tails.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Let me put it this way: the only way I think people won't mind Tails being recast is if Tails is aged a bit between this and the next movie. Maybe his voice deepens a bit. I don't know.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. I mean, it's a video game movie released in cinemas. How often do they keep the actors from the games?
Maybe it could actually set an example. I don't know.
Lord knows, this movie already set a better example for how, live-action adaptations of games should, have stuff similar enough to the game so that they're recognizable.
Silly Jova. Back in 1993, the answer to that was, let's have people bathe in worms.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Carry on.
The Mario movie. But solid start. And, a solid movie in and of its own right. Now let's see what happens in the next one, where hopefully they can expand on it more. And hey, maybe we'll get to see Jim Carrey maybe have to be in a fat suit so he can be more Eggman-y than Robotnik-y. But overall, good start.
Shioi?
No, I really like this movie. I mean, it is, pretty predictable. It's like, human alien kids movie, but it's actually very enjoyable. Like, I'd say even as somebody who's familiar with the franchise, and I think people who aren't can enjoy this too. I actually do like some of the music, some of the vocal stuff specifically. I'm really glad they changed they changed the design. I'm sure everyone is. It's nice to see Sonic have the kind of arc where it's like, it's a simple one, but it's like, yeah, here you have this character who's always talking about friendship, and he suddenly finds himself with no friends whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice to see him deal with that. Tails is going to be in the next movie. That's awesome. Someone
Apparently
else is
Knuckles
going to.
too.
Yeah, yeah, Knuckles as well, since we saw photos from the shoot.
Mm-hmm. Who may or may not be voiced by either Dwayne Johnson or Jason Momoa.
Yeah, I can see
The
that.
Jason Momoa thing was from a site that just relies on clickbait.
Oh, no. It is officially confirmed that they have approached Jason Momoa for the role. There's no confirmation on if he is the one playing Knuckles, but he was approached.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be great to see. I wonder if they're gonna take a different approach story-wise, but anyway.
Well, at the very least, they do have the means to set up for Knuckles, given how we saw the echidnas.
The echidnas,
in that. So yeah, that could be an interesting tie, like Sonic having to deal with a member of the species that robbed him of his mother figure.
Well, we don't know if she's dead yet, so
True.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she could be alive.
Yeah.
Some people theorize that she's the one who sent Tails to look for Sonic.
We actually did make her playable in Forces Battle, so there is that.
Yeah.
They made sure to call playable in that, and she's dead.
Carry on, Shira.
Well, how sensitive of you. No, Jim Carrey is great as Eggman. Like, especially, you get to see him progress. Like, this was a good origin for this iteration of the character. And the friendship of our main cast is really good. Like, the main characters, the side characters, like, it all worked out really well. They managed to implement Sonic well. Congratulations. No, this movie turned out pretty damn good. Like it's not like amazing, but it's good. I enjoy it a lot, and that's it.
Okay then, Tio.
Sure, why not? It's fine. As someone who's mostly detached with this franchise, it's actually pretty fine. I get the idea that the whole thing about the original designs would have probably killed a lot of interest and, part of the movie at the very least. I can definitely see part of the legs of which this movie has to hold itself upon being how Sony actually looks, moves, expresses himself, and everything. As the core for the core plot of itself, it's harmless, nothing too spectacular. But for a video game, again, video game adaptation has set the bar so low that even something that is technically serviceable like this is a huge improvement anyway. So, as an origin story for Eggman himself, for Robotnik himself, it's also fine. If I remember correctly, there was the scrapped idea in Sonic 8 AM that Robotnik was supposed to be the last survivor of humanity or something. So I or from another dimension entirely. So maybe there's some homaging to that too. Who knows?
Possible.
Also, for another question tied to curiosity, Dad, just since you seem to be more into the Sonic comics, did any particular storyline dealt with Sonic confronting existentialism?
I'll have to get back to you on that. Yeah. When shit was happening, like one of his friends almost died.
Okay.
Another friend left. Like things were not going his way, and it's like it was an interesting storyline, but unfortunately, it couldn't get resolved properly due to lawsuit.
Okay. This is okay. these two women supporting characters are surprising, also fine. Not the incredible best thing about in the world. James Marsden is clearly the one that shines through in all of this. And again, he's a good actor. We joked about both Superman Returns and the X-Men movies, but even on his own, he's a good actor. I mentioned The Stand before. He's arguably one of the best things about the 2020 Stand series. But okay, I just mentioned, but Jim Carrey for the role, he just works. Honestly,
Yeah.
I personally couldn't think anyone who, in this current day and age, mind you, could have portrayed the Robotnik, more effectively. Because on a physical level, you have to think then of something I would say like Danny DeVito, but Danny DeVito is a bit too old at this point. He's mostly doing stuff like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, And yes, that I remember the mock-up movie poster.
Okay, I was about to mention
The one with Vin Diesel and Keanu Reeves. Old school memory, folks.
and
Don't
Vin
ask.
Diesel as Knuckles.
Yeah.
Those were the good old days.
But to prove my point, again, I get also the idea why they decided to also be technically kind of an origin story for Robotnik, for the sake of having an actor that doesn't physically resemble Robotnik, and unless some particular details, so they can gradually make a transition into that. It's elegant, I would have to say. The one thing, the score is fine. At some point, it sounds a bit too emphasizing the melodramatic, but it does the job it's supposed to do. The licensed songs are also fine. I don't think they're particularly harmful. I just don't happen to recognize most of them, but again, they're fine. Just because they don't cater to any particular nostalgia of mine, they're fine. Surprised they didn't use the same music that they used for the trailer with the new design, Blitzkrieg Bop,
Yeah.
But I guess I get it. That was actually one of those, last minute decision too. Speaking of which, the thing that I also mentioned briefly, but I was mostly talking of commentary. Ben Schwartz as Sonic's voice is pretty fine. I get the idea in some scenes they actually applied a filter to his voice to sound it a bit more consistent. I don't know. There are some scenes where there's a bit of a metallic twang to when he sounds. Not in a sense that it's been done by an AI, but more like there has been applied a slight filter to it. Maybe probably during the action scenes, but I don't know. But again, I have to question if it was super necessary to have, a completely different actor just for Sonic, especially if you have then a post-credit scene with the video game voice actress for Tails, which again will just confuse things up on the more, and it will just have someone questioning like, oh, is the character gonna be recast in terms of voice for the next movie? Will they keep it? Will they create inconsistency on that? It's an argument that has been done for a long time, but I do subscribe to what Adam from MovieSucks.org did mention. If you're gonna have a movie adaptation from a video game, and a character that is in CGI, not actually has to be portrayed by a physical actor, at that point you might as well keep the original voice actor. That way you also technically show a bit more confidence and attract more fans of the series. Especially since RCS is actually has a good share of fans.
Heck, he's
from the
even been
fandom.
Sonic in a few movies too.
Again, this is not to say that Ben Schwartz did a bad job. Again, it's perfectly fine on its own. I just don't understand the thought process, especially because in my country's version, Sonic actually is voiced by the same voice actor that voices him in the video game. I don't like him, but I understand in that case the thought process, and it was intentional because that kind of voice actor normally doesn't do big blockbuster movies. He's mostly confined to like anime, video games, and TV stuff.
A lot of people have suggested that the main reason they chose a different voice actor in Ben Schwartz was because this is technically a younger and less experienced Sonic, which they wanted to get across with that for a different voice actor.
This isn't a jab at Ben, since he is a good voice actor. But it's the same issue I have with DuckTales. It's like he sounds too old for the type of character he's voicing.
I know that it is an actual thing. I just personally normally don't have this kind of problem when it comes to those rules, but I do know that it can tick off people. I don't think it was the case here. Basically, just to sum it up, I think it's perfectly fine. It gives a character an identity and everything. I just think it was a superfluous move. That is all. But anyway, as for a movie in itself, disregarding the video game adaptation and all, it's fine. Not much happens technically, because you just have a very small road trip, a small origin story at the beginning, and a more intense climax near the end. But the movie, for all intents and purposes, mind you, does speed up. All the things instead of actually meandering on something like, say, oh, we're having the road trip that lasts a bit too long, or oh, they're lost in San Francisco a bit too long before reaching the tower, And I actually do wonder if some of these things were part of the original script that just got, cut away for the sake of making the movie more enjoyable as a result. I can definitely see that there is something of a division between the stuff that Tyson and the other people, like Izuka and other people, wanted to do for the movie, and stuff that Paramount wanted to do. It works, it amalgamates very well for the final product, but you can definitely tell, oh, this bit probably was executive mandate by Paramount or something.
Yeah, to my understanding, Paramount has more creative control over the movie.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense considering how they made a point with previous licensed movies that they handle, like Transformers. But no, overall, even as an adaptation and as a movie on its own, is perfectly serviceable. Probably something that not by being myself too much attached to Sonic, I would just prefer to watch with someone else, particularly people from the Sonic fandom, just to have also more points of reference. But it's fine on its own. We'll see how the sequel turns out. Next.
Dead.
So, okay. This is the best way I could put this movie. It feels like a Phase 1 MCU film where it's mostly just set up for future events. Like, this was just laying out the groundwork. Your basic superhero origin, whatnot.
Except if it's Captain America: First Avenger, because that movie is amazing on its own, and not instead of just setting ground.
Oh yeah. It's good. Is it fair to say in a middle ground between Iron Man 1 and Captain America 1 in that regard, though? Because it's a fine film, but I feel like I hope that future movies will have more fun with the concepts, because I am so glad they weren't trying to shove in every single game reference. Like, here's the Death Egg, here's the Chaos
Emerald. Like I
said, it feels like a
want with the sequel. I'm just like, let's just build up to things. Like
I said, I get the idea that Sega wanted to distance themselves a bit from the Chaos Emeralds in recent times, since they became less and less important to the games.
And I do get what you mean, though. It is nice that this feels like a film that, even though you could argue it does feel a bit like setup, it still has a venture that itself feels complete. Like, even if they had to end it here, it would be fine enough if they ended it here. Sure, there'd be the threat of Eggman coming back, but at the very least, as far as Sonic's arc goes, it's complete enough so that it feels like it doesn't rely on there having to be a sequel to feel complete.
Kind of feels no. Never end anything with a post-credit scene if that's the case.
Okay. The post-credit scene is something that's there obviously just in case, but I'd say, even if we didn't get a sequel, I feel that post-credit scene could just go, oh, well, he'll find him, and go, oh, it's a nice Easter egg, as opposed to oh my god, there's this life-threatening crisis, we need to see a sequel, or whatnot.
No, I can't agree with that.
I'd argue that, yeah, it's a sequel hook, but it's not an absolute blatant one that demands a sequel. Even if we didn't get the sequel, we could argue things at least ended up on a high note.
To something, though.
Oh, yes. I'm not denying that.
It technically is a sequel hook.
Well, I never denied that it was a sequel hook. My point is, like, it's not a sequel hook to, like, the point where there absolutely needs to be a sequel, and this movie will feel incomplete if we don't get one. That's sort of more so my point. But anyway, carry on with your thoughts.
But yeah, I do. Again, it's a fine movie. It's a story that you've seen 1,000 times with every live action adaptation. I am glad that they tried to make it mostly about Sonic, or tried to find a middle ground between making it about him and Tom, instead of, something like the Smurfs, where it was mostly about Neil Patrick Harris.
Carrey's character, yeah.
This, or with Alvin. Well, Alvin and the Chipmunks was mainly about all of them.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, ironically, the first Alvin and the Chipmunks.
First one.
Yeah, like the first movie is. Yeah, I won't deny that movie was way better than anyone was expecting it to be. So kudos. That said, the sequels ruined stuff. Although, well, yeah, I guess to be fair, the sequels still did actually focus on the Chipmunks. So
It's just the writing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ugh.
I had fun with it for what it is, but again, I just hope that it gets better from here instead of doing the awkward first try.
Mm-hmm. Well, based off of what we've seen from the development, it does look like at least things are going smoothly with the sequel. It doesn't deny or confirm whether or not it'll be good, but I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, especially since they seem confident enough to include Knuckles in it, too.
Yeah, that's just another thing.
He was technically built up in the beginning.
The sequel seems to be showing signs of confidence because of the constant news where they say where the crew is saying, "Oh, we are filming now in this location," and then like a week later, "Oh, we're done filming. We're moving here." They are keeping.
I mean, Tio, I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like people working on a product and selling you on it, that's basically their job.
Well, okay. To be fair, though, Dave.
What I'm saying, Dej, is to the fact that the crew is open to communicate instead of just keeping a radio silence. That's what I mean.
Like, here's the thing, Dej. If the film company behind it weren't confident, you can bet that they would pretty much sort of bottleneck...
Do everything in secrecy.
Yeah, they would bottleneck what the film crew could say here and there as well. And again, the confidence here compared to the confidence with this movie back during the Dark Ages, let's just call it, is staggering.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Because they kept saying, "Don't worry, it's coming soon. Don't worry." I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you hiding?
And then it came, that trailer.
I do like Tom, and he has a relatable character arc, especially when you're an adult and you're like, oh.
I want to do more of my life, damn it.
But the thing that I don't get is they were. I know why they did it, but why do you want to move out? Oh, I wish that they had time to elaborate with the whole. I changed why he changed his mind.
Like, you get why he changed his mind, but I do get
what... that scene where he says, like, thank you for what? For saving my life. Because remember, the reason he wanted to leave and go to San Francisco is because he wanted to do something more out of a cop. He wanted to save lives, not just help dogs cross the street. And he saved Sonic's life, so I'll cross that off his bucket list.
Yeah, nice bit of theming there.
Yeah.
That's how I took that scene, at least. But
nah, that's I can't. I just wish that we actually had the whole got some reasoning as to why he changed his mind, or it's like, you know what? After that experience, I've had enough adventuring or whatnot. Just a throwaway line or something. It doesn't ruin it, but it's just something that not too keen on that. Jim Carrey is obviously the best part about this movie, and there was the reason why they were hyping him out the most out of everything.
Oh yeah, to
the point where they even spoiled his transformation to Eggman. in the first trailer.
I get it, yeah,
Ironically,
why they did
that
it
was
for the sequel. Yeah, for the sequel to attract more fans.
And honestly, given the original trailer's contents, that was one of the rare moments where spoiling something was probably a smart decision to give people an inkling of hope, because again...
And to be fair, most fans also did call it out at like the moment it was released, but no, this is probably just the post-credit scene.
And I wish they didn't.
I mean,
I hope with this trailer for the sequel they'll avoid trying to spoil everything.
It's interesting because one of the writers for the movie has said on Twitter that he's looking forward to the first trailer because he says that this trailer is going to destroy the internet. He says
Really?
he's very confident about the trailer, that the first trailer apparently.
oh my god, it's going to include Amy, isn't it?
Sure.
No, Amy's going to be saved for the post credits release scene. Sorry,
Yeah.
most likely.
Like I said, please for the sequel, do not try to shove everything into it.
You
I
mean
know they
like
want to make
Shadow?
more game I know they want to make more game references, but like I don't want to see Metal, I don't want to see the Death Egg, I don't want to see
Shadow.
all the Chaos Emeralds, like everything. Just tell a story first, then worry about fan service. Because this movie did have a lot of fan service, like a blink if you miss it, like, oh, that's cool. But and it didn't dwell on it. It was like the fun Easter egg for fans to enjoy, and I respected that for it.
Like,
Like, I want to see more of Green Hill Zone or an established game location. That's fine. But I don't want to see. And then suddenly, the space colony arc is falling from the Earth, and Sonic has to transform Super. And he has to fight Metal Sonic while doing it at the same time as Perfect Chaos is flooding the city.
Okay, I know that you're hyperboling it a bit, but to be honest, with the setting that is being built up for the sequel, I can see Metal working as the final boss. We just need to,
If it's just him, sure. I don't want to see him and Shadow and the Death Egg.
Sure, I get what you mean.
I seriously doubt we're gonna get like a shit ton of stuff like that all at once.
Like, I'm willing to give Jeff
That's
Fowler
what people were hoping for the next one. I was like, all right, calm down.
Yeah, that's definitely a case where, like, don't worry, guys. We know you're looking forward to it, but bit by bit, let's pace these movies out well.
I do have a question for all of you. How many movies do you think this is going to be before we'll feel like, yeah, that's enough?
6.
Depends on.
Okay.
Considering this fandom, this one, and that's it.
Well, given how people are excited for the sequel, Dwibs, that makes your answer already wrong.
Like, before thing, like, what do you think it'll probably like Fast and Furious, where it's be like, oh, cool, a new one's out, neat, or do you think so? All right, that's enough for the time being?
Okay. If they do this smart and wise enough, I could see this being an evergreen franchise that can endure for years on end. Like, okay, assuming that Jim Carrey enjoys these movies enough. Or I guess if it gets to the point where they just CGI a guy to look like Eggman or whatnot. But honestly, I feel like Jim Carrey, as long as he keeps having fun with these movies, will come back. Ben Schwartz definitely could come back. As for James, yeah, he could come back, or they may phase his character out slowly, but
the human characters, I think, are the non-Robotnik human characters. I think probably would be, the ones that would be the first to go if the franchise becomes too stale. You're done, Dej?
Yeah, I'm done.
Pedro.
No, I really enjoy this movie a lot, actually. It's not my ideal Sonic movie, but like my ideal Sonic movie would be a Marza animation movie. Basically, the Sonic Unleashed opening, that like something like that, basically.
Remind me, did Marza actually do the
yes,
CGI world
stuff?
stuff?
I remember seeing them credited.
Yeah, they were credited as part doing some of the CGI into it. But remember, Joe, according to the 2015 little card thingy where Sega talked about their current plans for the future back in 2014. This movie was originally meant to be a CG animated film. It's just that plans changed somewhere midway.
Oh, fun fact, guys!
I think it would have been better if it would have ended up better. If it was.
Well, that depends on who was writing it, Dej. Like, but for me, like, I'm just talking in terms of actual, like, in terms of my ideal Sonic movie. I think Sonic works a lot better in an animated form. like literally use Mars animation places to make the movie look just like the Sonic Unleashed opening, and there you go. There's your visuals. As for the story, maybe, well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, maybe I personally would have asked Ian Flint to be the writer, but I'm pretty sure that would never be able to happen in Hollywood. So
because they're cowards.
Well, I'm just talking about my ideal Sonic movie, not the realistic
No,
Sonic movie.
we all want Ian Flint to do something with Sonic outside the comic books.
Sure. The point is, that being said, this is still a really good movie and way better than it has any right to be, considering the generic plot and concept that it's derived from. The characters are really enjoyable. The humor is great, especially from Jim Carrey is absolutely wonderful in this movie. It's so great to see him play a role like this again, and I'm incredibly excited to see how, like, as you saw from the last one, that last scene, he's gonna get even more crazy, even crazier in the second movie. So by all means, I don't just like Jeff. That's the interesting thing. Even while this movie was still in theaters, Jeff Fowler said that him and Jim were already in talks about what they wanted to do with the sequel.
Wow, he got Jim Carrey excited for a sequel again. The man, as far as I know, has hated sequels. Like, he said no to The Mask too. So
you know what? I think I know why.
It wasn't Ace Ventura 2.
I think I know why he's against.
That was the reason why he said no to sequels.
Exactly. Ace Ventura 2 is the reason he said no to sequels ever
whatever.
since.
I like Ace Ventura 2 is fine. But,
my speculation is he feels like some of the movies he's done can't be made into sequels. Fields 1 and 9.
Sure. Yes, Joe.
You can expand.
Also, don't get me wrong, Pedro. I like Ace Ventura 2. I'm just talking about Ace Ventura 2 is apparently the reason Jim Carrey doesn't like doing sequels. Something to do with the production of that movie, or he not liking it that much himself. I mean, look, I like it. Apparently Jim Carrey didn't like it, so...
Well, whatever. No, I will say this. Ace Ventura 2 did age a bit better than the first one because of the let's just say there's an elephant in the room in the ending of Ace Ventura 1.
Yeah.
However, that being said, if it helps you, both Jim Carrey and even the filmmakers years later have apologized for it and even said that they would make things different today if the movie was done today. So whatever. At this point, it's pointless to get angry at that anyway.
Yeah.
Back to this movie though. No, it's so great to watch Jim Carrey be his wonderfully crazy self again. I really enjoy the references. The story is for as generic as the story is, it's actually really well told, and it's just an overall very enjoyable movie, way better than its competitor at the time in theaters. I'm definitely excited to see what the sequel can bring, considering the basic summary is already pretty cool based on what we've read. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to the sequel. Bring me some more Jim Eggman, please. All right, that's about it, really. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Granted, as a Sonic fan, I was expecting to glean enjoyment of this in the first place, even with that original horrible design, but this movie definitely ended up exceeding my expectations. They obviously weren't set that high, but no, this went from being a movie that I thought would be decent at best to being, no, I consider this a blueprint. Like, yeah, it may be a low bar, but seriously, the fact that, it took video game movies so long to reach that bar, I would consider this a blueprint at the very least for how to go about starting off a live-action adaptation. It doesn't have to be exactly like the games, obviously, but it has the right elements and enough Easter eggs here and there, all mixed in, and you get a pretty enjoyable movie. Like, no, it's legit good. The humor works, the writing works, it is surprisingly very nice. Like, controversial as it may be for me to say, aside from the comics, this is the best thing that's happened to Sonic since Generations, I'm gonna say. It's a very good movie. Like, I like how they also showed restraint where they needed to show restraint. They didn't go all in and try and shove everything in here in some desperate ploy, afraid that this might be the last film. No. They made their stand and they stuck with it. They made amazing uses of Jim Carrey. They, of course, got the perfect guy to act alongside companions who aren't there. James Marsden, seriously. If there was like an award for people who can act with beings who aren't really there, James Marsden would probably have won it by now, because holy cow, he's a natural at this. Tika Sumpter was fun. The girl playing JoJo was cute and adorable, and yes, that scene where Sonic gets his shoes is very heartwarming as well. Like, this movie is good and wholesome. It makes good jokes without having to sacrifice its integrity, and while it does poke fun at certain things, it feels fine. Sure, it does feel a bit dated with the Olive Garden line, but honestly, it still is funny. I'll admit, some of the casting gags are neat because, again, seriously, that thing with Gary Chalk, he is, like, everywhere in those military outfits. And from what I recall, he has some history with the Sonic franchise anyway, so neat.
Oh, yeah, it's the voice of Grounder, Jova.
That being said, I do hope that they have Jim Carrey's Eggman chase Sonic and company with the gun truck that he was driving in the sequel, cause, like, holy cow, how awesome would that be to see that? Like, again, I like how this movie inspires hope, but excitement for what there is to come. And thank goodness there is more to come. Like, people went from going, when will it be over, to, oh my god, when's the sequel? Like, no, this movie legit did its job of getting people hyped. And it attracted newcomers to the Sonic franchise as well, so overall a good net gain here. I do like to believe that with this movie, the Sonic brand will get sustained a lot better too, especially if those leaked of Sonic Rangers is anything to go off of. Holy cow. But yeah, overall, I enjoy this movie. And I know this isn't a huge bar to clear, it is legit my favorite video game adaptation film.
Are we talking about animated wise or live action?
Live action.
Okay, good. I'm about to be like, they're better animated live action. Okay.
Regardless, though, great job. And trust me, that is saying something, because previously my favorite live-action adaptation video game movie was the Ace Attorney movie, so congrats, Sonic, you surpassed that in my eyes. So, that was the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. We hope you enjoyed it. Happy anniversary, Sonic, and we look forward to the sequel.
To 30 more years of people arguing with each other.
For the movie.
Gotta dash.
Yeah.